Amanda. Amanda. Hi, Amanda from Oakland.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, good to see you.
Thank you.
So read what you've written.
Okay. I have a persistent feeling like that of a victim, particularly in my marriage. I have compromised repeatedly and go through periods of challenge getting my needs met. When I think about the work, I feel angry that I have to give up my position that I'm right, that my needs are not getting met. My resistance is based on a perspective that no matter what I think or feel, the work will lead me to invalidate it. Would you please help me to understand this piece better? For example, if my story is that my husband does not give me as much affection as I would like, and I just change the story to say that he does give me enough affection, or that I don't give myself as much affection as I would like, my interpretation and fear are that I'm negating valid feelings of wanting more affection from him.
Yeah, and that's not possible. If I believe my husband's not giving me enough affection, I can't change the story. That's not going to work for me. I mean, well, if I say, he's not giving me enough affection, and I change the story to he is giving me enough affection, I'm not going to believe that.
Right.
I mean, that's just an old con job, and we certainly can't con ourselves.
Okay.
I mean, that's like wishful thinking. It's like trying to brainwash ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's not honest. It's not going to fly.
Okay.
So that's why, we put the situation on paper and we question it one thought at a time. Mm-hmm. And as we turn it around, we could come out still believing that he doesn't give us enough affection. Mm-hmm. But then we better understand who we're living with. Mm-hmm. I understand me as someone that needs more affection than he can give. Mm-hmm. And I understand him as someone that isn't that available to give me the affection on cue when I want it or think I need it. So when I find that when I do these worksheets, that I discover so much of myself and where I am not giving me affection. For example, right now I feel very, very nurtured and unneeding of affection. I mean, right now in this moment, are you okay affection-wise in this moment?
I am. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I go back from this situation and I go back to that moment in time when I believed he wasn't giving me the affection that I needed. So,
okay.
So what was that situation in time for you when you were believing that?
Maybe a couple of months ago.
Okay. And where was it? Were you in the living room, in the kitchen, in the bedroom?
Different places.
Okay.
So it's just kind of just an ongoing.
Yeah. So where locate a moment in time.
Okay. Let's say in the kitchen.
Okay. So you're in the kitchen and you're believing he isn't giving you enough affection.
I would like some touch
that
I'm not able to get.
Okay. You would like him specifically what touch? To hug you, to hold you, to...
Sure. To come up from behind if I'm chopping something at the counter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sort of, I'm using this as an example, even though it's what came up when I was writing in. But I think the bigger piece for me is just this feeling of like constantly compromising and giving up things that are important.
Yes. So let's get to it, okay? Because you wouldn't think such a minor thing could hold so much for you, but it really does. So let's say you're standing in the kitchen and you're chopping carrots, celery, onions, okay, lettuce, or whatever it is. Okay, you're chopping what? Vegetables?
Yeah.
Okay. and you, all of a sudden you have, he's in the kitchen and all of a sudden you feel like you need affection. Mm-hmm. That you're preparing a meal and it would be nice to have, if he put his arms around you. Okay. So do you have a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet in front of you or a pencil and paper?
No.
Okay. So,
I have Word on my computer. How about that? That's a pencil.
Okay, excellent. Okay. So just write the numeral 1. I need my husband to give me more affection. Or I need my husband to give me affection, because we're in the moment there. Okay. So now let's look at why are you upset?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you upset in that moment? Or, let's keep it simple. Let's use that as statement 1 because I called it that, okay?
Okay.
I'm frustrated because my husband is not affectionate.
Mm-hmm.
Is not being affectionate. Does that feel right to you?
Yes.
Okay, so we have it. All right. Now, statement 2. Okay. Now, in that moment, you're chopping. What do you want? Specifically, what do you want him to say or do that's affectionate?
To come up behind me and maybe wrap his arms around my belly.
So write that. Okay. I want him to come up. That's so beautiful. All right. So all you men watching this, so and okay. So anything else you want in that moment in time? And say I love you. I want him to say I love you or anything like that.
Sure, anything like that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, or a kiss on the neck.
Oh, good. See, what I love about this piece is it's so honest. I mean, you really know what you want, and when you sit with this and start to write it down, you know what you want, and this really is helpful. It will be helpful in the long run. Okay, so now number 3. And later you could add more to these.
Okay.
But number 3, he should or he shouldn't what? In that moment in time.
That's funny. I have such an aversion to the should word.
Yeah.
I would like him to.
Yeah, but the shoulds and shouldn'ts are running all the time. And even though we have an aversion, they're running. So he should
be crazy about me and want to come over and touch me.
Excellent. Okay. So, and later you can add something else to it if it comes to mind. So now 4.
Okay.
So what do you need to be happy in that moment? What do you need to go from frustrated to happy? Or from sad to happy?
Maybe to either receive his love or feel it in some way, or to be heard.
Well, what do you need? What do you need from him?
From him, I see. Other than the touch?
Yeah. What do you need from him to be happy? I need him to.
I think I need him to come over and make contact with me.
Okay.
Am I barking up the wrong tree?
No. That's why I love this. No one can tell us how to do it. We're grabbing our own thoughts in the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, we're identifying what we were thinking standing at the kitchen sink.
Mm-hmm. I see. Okay.
Okay, so now on statement 5, what were your thoughts about him as you were in the kitchen and feeling you wanted more affection and not getting it? Let's
see. He is,
I hope all of you at home are filling in your worksheet.
Maybe taking me for granted.
Good.
Or not interested in me anymore.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Or I've become just a domestic partner.
Yeah. Good, good. Okay, so now on statement number 6, the last one, what is it you never want to experience again with him or that situation? I don't ever want to feel so alone.
Yeah, it's like a powerlessness.
Yeah.
And an feeling really alone and unable to do anything about it.
Yeah.
I'm putting all my focus on getting something from one person who's not available for that at the moment.
So I don't ever want to feel so alone and powerless, so all alone and powerless.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you can always straighten this up later. Mm-hmm. All right. So now you've filled in a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. You've collected your thoughts, the thoughts you were thinking in that moment. Now, these thoughts are the cause of our loneliness. Mm-hmm. And our husbands can never be, or our partners can never be. So,
the cause?
The cause is what I'm thinking and believing, not my husband. That's the cause of my suffering. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now let's look at statement number 1. Your husband is not being affectionate enough. Mm-hmm. Is it true?
Yes. As much as I would like. I'm not saying enough.
Okay, your husband is not being as affectionate as you would like. Is it true?
Yes.
He's not being affectionate as you would like. Can you absolutely know that it's true? He's not being as affectionate as you like?
Yes.
Okay. Notice at the sink, chopping, notice how you react. Notice what happens emotionally when you think that thought.
I feel sad. And I feel... just kind of helpless and a bit down.
Now notice that how the energy drops. Mm-hmm. Now notice chopping. Who would you be without the thought? He's not being as affectionate as I would like.
More energized, more creative.
So now let's turn it around. My husband is not being as affectionate as I would like. What is the opposite? My husband is.
Mm-hmm. My husband is being...
as affectionate as I would like.
Okay.
Okay, now what does that mean to you as you witness that situation?
Well, I can see it being validating or... I feel a little confused because on one hand, this is sort of what I'm writing in about is like, no, I don't I don't want to do that because then I'm just giving up this part of myself that feels important.
Well, which is why you wrote in. But here's what it means to me. My husband is being as affectionate as I would like. Okay, so I see me at the sink. I see I'm doing dinner. Now, do I want or do I really want to be interrupted? If he puts his hands on my belly, I'm going to be interrupted. Am I going to have to wash my hands? Is it going to lead to do I really want to get dinner done? And am I tired? Let's see, my husband is being as affectionate as I would like in that moment. You see, I'm just exploring. Is that really?
Mm-hmm. Is there any other way to hold it? Is that what kind of?
No, just, is it true?
It is true. There is never a time when I don't welcome that.
More affection.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So my husband is being as affectionate as I would like. Okay. So there's not much in that turnaround for you.
No.
Okay. That's okay. You know yourself, and we're exploring, maybe penetrating enough to find something else. But when nothing else is there, nothing else is there. So good. So another turnaround, my husband's not being as affectionate as I would like. Another turnaround, try I. I am.
I am not being as affectionate as I would like.
Yes. So tell me about that. Did you drop the knife? Did you wipe your hands off? Did you go over and put your arms around his belly? Did you put his arms around your belly? Did you stop what you were doing?
No, I did not.
No. Mm-hmm. So that turnaround is, we're opening to other realizations. It's like, let's see, I'm just like him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not alone in this ball game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not being affectionate. I would like, I'd rather chop these vegetables.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good point. I often...
well, we're just exploring.
Okay.
So now let's look at statement 2. I want...
Mm-hmm. I want him to come up behind me and wrap his arms around my belly.
So you're chopping the vegetables. Is it true? Are you sure that's what you want?
I have some doubt now just because.
Well, it's just something to notice. You don't have to change your mind. This is exploration. The work is 4 questions and turnarounds. It doesn't say, answer this to change your mind. This is not a self-help thing.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's exploration to know ourselves better.
I would say yes, it's true.
Yeah. So you want him to come up and rub his hands on your belly. Is it true? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you react? What happens when you believe that thought? And you're chopping the vegetables. And what's he doing? Sitting at the table?
Sure.
Okay, he's sitting at the table. How do you react when you believe this thought?
There's a sadness in me for not being able to get what I want, to having this craving for closeness and love.
And so you're chopping the vegetables depressed, mm-hmm. with the wrong husband, married to the wrong man, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just like, here you are, a victim.
Mm-hmm.
So now look at you in the kitchen doing what you're doing without the thought, I want him to rub his hands on my belly.
Mm-hmm.
Notice that experience, what it's like, just chopping the vegetables. Notice the difference with the thought and without the thought.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see?
Just feeling easeful and productive.
Yeah. Creative.
Oh.
At home in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No lacking, no victim.
Mm-hmm.
No craving. Now let's turn it. Now notice with the thought. You're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Only it's a different experience. You're a victim. So now, is your husband the problem, or is it what you're thinking and believing? Just in that moment.
Yeah. No, I know it's my thoughts.
Oh, that's okay though. We're just checking it out. So now let's turn it around. I want me to rub my hands on his belly. I want me, read what you wrote.
Oh, okay. I want me to rub my hands on his belly.
I want me to say
behind him and wrap my arms around him. I want me to say, I love you. I want me to kiss him on the neck.
Yes. You're an affectionate person. And what do you think he would do if you dropped the knife, you turned around, you put your hands around his belly, you said, I love you, you kissed his neck? What do you think? You think he would say, stop that?
Sometimes, yes. But
and what do you think in this situation? This really takes honesty. The two of you alone in the kitchen.
That I think I'm being rejected. I think I'm unlovable. If that's the way it goes. And it's, I create a lot of story around it and don't have much compassion actually for him and what's going on for him in that moment.
Yeah. It's how you react when you believe the thought. So experience this again softly. I want me to rub my hands on his belly. Read it that way again.
I want to come up behind him and wrap my arms around his belly. I want to tell him I love him and kiss him on the neck.
Okay.
Feels good.
Yeah. One way you're affectionate, and when you're believing your thoughts, you're not.
I'm not being affectionate when I'm believing my thoughts.
No, you're chopping it and you're putting it all on him. Like he's supposed to be a mind reader. If I am him and I'm looking at you, it looks like that's what you want.
Right. It's a little deeper. I mean, this conversation is, simplified.
But we take it one at a time, because you can go into one of those moments that really where you have it locked in, one of those situations, and you can do exactly what we're doing here with something that was really valid for you. But this is valid in general for you. Anything that brings tears to your eyes like this, it's valid enough the way we're doing it. So let's look at statement 3.
He should be crazy about me and want to come over and touch me.
Sweetheart, let's back it up a minute, okay? Let's look at another turnaround for statement 3. No, for statement 3.
Oh, am I on the wrong number? My number's a little mixed up here, so I may have responded to the wrong.
Okay, to the shoulds.
Okay, we're talking about the shoulds?
The one we just did, what was that?
The should.
The shoulds, okay. So my husband shouldn't wrap his hand around my belly. Read it that way.
My husband shouldn't be crazy about me and want to come over and touch me.
So what does that mean to you?
It means that I'm letting him off the hook.
What about this? It means you're chopping vegetables. That's what he sees. Mm-hmm. He shouldn't come up and do that. You're preparing dinner. He could be hungry. He could have the thought you're so focused. She doesn't want to be interrupted. I mean, you're really expecting him to be a mind reader. Mm-hmm. And also, this is why I asked to go back, sweetheart. He shouldn't wrap his hand around my belly. He shouldn't kiss me on the neck because my self-esteem is so low, I'm not always open to it. Mm. I wish I could remember your words. But if you want to work on self-esteem, you turn this around and you put your arms around his belly and just see what happens, etc.
Okay.
Okay. We're just experimenting here. We're really taking a look. All right, so now let's look at 4. You need him to come over and make contact with you in that situation. Is that true? That would make you happy. Is it true? I need him to come over and make contact with me.
I think in the moment I thought it was true.
Mm-hmm. So that's why we're looking at it now.
Mm-hmm.
When we consider your mood, what you were thinking and believing, if he came over and made contact with you, would that make you happy?
Seemingly.
Yeah, but it's a yes or no.
Yes, I think yes.
That was fast. Okay. So you need him to come over and make contact with you. How do you react when you believe that thought? You're chopping vegetables.
Then I put the knife down and I embrace the moment.
But how do you react in that situation when you had that thought? I need him to come over and make contact with me, and you just kept chopping vegetables.
I see. It doesn't happen. Then how do I react? Mm-hmm. I react sort of the same way as before. I think, my frustration would be growing at that point, and maybe I'd be feeling angry.
Well, say drop the maybe. Be there in that situation with the thought, chopping vegetables. All we need to do is just witness what happened. Mm-hmm. And experience what happened when you believe the thought.
Mm-hmm. Then I would feel frustrated and angry.
Now notice the same situation without the thought.
Mm-hmm. I'm noticing putting my attention just on my task and sort of giving myself fully to that. And that feels good.
Yeah. So with the thought, there's pain. Without the thought, you're focused, you're free, you're creative. I need him to come over and make contact with me, turn it around. I need me.
I need me to make contact with him.
Yes. He's not a mind reader. Mm-hmm. He sees your focus. And you can direct him, make contact with him, say, sweetheart, would you come over here and put your arms around me and put your hands on my belly and kiss my neck while I chop vegetables? The worst that could happen is he would say no, and that's what you've already got.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But you're not being affectionate. You're expecting him to. So he could be just like you. He's expecting you to.
Mm-hmm. Can you back up a little bit to the piece about the self-esteem? It was a little...
Well, it's something I heard from you. It's like, I don't need him to come over and make contact with me because I'm not really worth it anyway. I'm unlovable. Mm-hmm. And when you feel that way, it doesn't even occur to you to say, sweetheart, come over here, kiss me on the neck while I chop vegetables, put your arms around me, get close. That's fun and lighthearted. And again, the worst that can happen, you already have.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to leave the rest of this worksheet for you to work and to sit in and remember. We're meditating on. You're meditating on what you wrote when you put these questions with it. Meditating on these 4 questions and turnarounds. So I love that it brings you peace, sweetheart.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Amanda.